Peace. It is an honor to have you here. I'll start with looking back. First time I've got in touch with vampiric current, that was way over 10 years back. A vampiric spirit took interest in me, and once he introduced himself, he kept being around and got me used to his presence. He did not feed on me, not until I wanted to become a vampire myself. Then we did exchange blood, many times. I have to make something clear here. He is a spirit. No physical blood was ever included. It was spiritual experience. Some would call it imagination or a specific kind of meditation. I definitely began having some unusual experiences. Bloodlust showed up here and there around certain people. I didn't harm anyone. In fact, it was scary for me, as I wasn't used to it at all. Unfortunately, life happens. My life changed drastically in a short time, and I forgot. I stopped focusing on vampirism, and it faded away. Why I'm telling you this? The fact is, even though some practicing vampires love to speak about point of no return, it is not exactly like that. What you did cannot be taken back, that is true. But every moment is a new beginning. Every new now is your free choice to decide where you will go next. There is no forever vampire. You can stop being a vampire and move to another path. You have free will, and becoming a vampire is not about losing it. We can safely say that there is a predator, a vampire, within every one of us. Some have no connection with it, while others embrace it. No two humans are the same. Also, I'm telling you this story to remind you that if you stop practicing a skill or the occult practice, it fades away. Imagine that you are a bird. When you practice waving your wings, you eventually get off the ground and higher into the air. But if you stop, soon you start falling down and you can land back on the ground faster than you would like. Or you can easily understand that if you work at the gym, you get strong body. But if you stop, your body will slowly lose that strength. My tale was a long time ago, when I started hearing the call of the vampire again. It wasn't so easy or so simple. It was fully conscious choice. I had to walk the path on my own choice and willpower. Unfortunately, I was also heavier with bias and illusions. It was hard to regain the process I've achieved back then so easily. Something that angers me when thinking about it. But I cannot change that. The past is one thing that is indeed beyond point of no return. I had to start again. This time, I was not guided by spiritual world, so I had to do whatever I could myself. I found channel Universal Mastery that was describing a vampiric ritual. The videos are no longer free to access, so I cannot point you to them. The ritual there was doable, and I was able to adapt it for myself and perform it. It was a dangerous one. Thankfully, I was prepared well enough. After it, I kept recharging the object I created for this ritual. You know, it wasn't the right path, at least not exactly right one, but it was something. If you do something with intent, even though it is not exactly perfect, the intent still matters. My determination, my work on this spiritual goal I was seeking, was not ignored. But it was many monthly rituals later when I was finally inspired by another initiation ritual, this time from the book The Infernal Vampire. Guess it wouldn't mean much if I wasn't already actively working on my intention for so long. It was fascinating time, this second initiation. In the moment I read it, I knew that I want to do it. In fact, I desired to do it. It was beautiful in the form that I saw in the book. It was connected with Lilith. I do not work with Lilith. So with all respect, I excluded her and changed some things about the rite, but all the important stuff I kept. I loved doing that one. It was 15 days ritual that was made from 14 days of offerings, and the last day when I had to see if I'm accepted. The last day, nothing happened. Of course, I got pretty emotional about it. Once I got over the disappointment from the zero finale, I've realized that this ritual actually did some real change for me. My vampiric spirit returned, but he is not so much around this time. Things changed. It is on me to do the work. It was on me back then too, and my lack of discipline took the best of me and made me lose years. Now I think that lack of discipline deemed me not worthy of this path. But in all honesty, it is also true that I let go myself. I truly have only myself to blame for what happened. So here we are, back in the now. I still keep falling in my daily practice. I admit that. However, my fallings are way more rare now. I truly focus on doing my stuff every day now. I do have daily routine. Vampiric practice is of course included. It is rather interesting short meditation that deepens the connection with vampiric current. No harm to people is necessary. I can drain energy from people, but I have no reason to. I practice ambient feeding occasionally, but I'm careful not to take in too much of that energy. I have limits to how much energy I can take in without getting problems. Too much of anything is a problem, proven true again and again. Now let us speak more about what must come after one is initiated into vampirism. I've already said earlier that initiation is not the end, it is the beginning. Initiation is about gaining access to something, not becoming a master of it. So after all that initiation rodeo, what is next? What comes is my own understanding, my own path. You can get inspired, but keep in mind that I'm not telling you everything. With vampiric blood in myself through this initiation process, the next task was in making it work. Transformation into vampire is not automatic. It is not subconscious process. I have to do it myself. I have to embrace the vampirism. I'm the one to make it real. To make it become part of me and embracing it is what I do every day. Sometimes I get the gift of blood exchange again, but the fact is my soul and my energy are fully mine. This becomes true even more as my discipline improved. If I want this vampiric blood to become part of me, it has to be me who allows it. I have to let it in, and I'm the one who has to embrace it. Looking around, I seem to be the only one who walks this path the way I do. So I have no other people to compare my experience with. Sort of, I like that. If I were comparing myself with others, it would do no good for me. When you compare yourself to others, you do not get proud unless you do way better than other people. And the truth is, you usually do worse. Sometimes really, but mostly only in your own eyes. That is not helpful anyway. You can only evolve as your own nature demands, So do not worry if it takes long time. It's okay. Some of more advanced practitioners speak about entering the abyss. This stuff seems to be favored in occult branch of Kabbalah. I don't do Kabbalah. I find it incompatible with my spirituality. And yet I've learned some things about this system, beloved by Western part of the occult world. I did not expect it, the abyss. First I saw it in meditation, a vision that I did not create myself. It was beautiful to me. But in the abyss, things are challenging. The energy, or rather lack of, unsure myself, definitely showed up. Every day I would forget what I was practicing and had to remember and build it again. Every time a little bit different, at least I think. But I had to remember and persist remembering and practicing, embracing the challenge. At first it was really frustrating, but I was able to persist. Now it seems that this one challenge is down. Well, yes and no. It can return anytime. The path goes ever on, and there will always be more to overcome. Each such obstacle is an opportunity to grow. I choose this path after all, and perhaps the failure to keep my path the first time will be an advantage now, because it remains in my mind how hard it is to rebuild once I let it fall apart. It also is part of motivation, to know what happens if I get lazy again. A hard lesson to go through. But that too is part of it. I mean failure. If you never screw up, you never truly learn much. Failure is what teaches us about our own limits that we can overcome. Discipline is, my opinion, extremely important to develop. It is about being able to take good care of yourself. It is a way to master the art to keep your own word you give to yourself. And if you can trust yourself that you do what you want from yourself, I believe that it is the real basis for confidence. No matter the world, you have yourself to trust and rely on. Can you rely on yourself? It took me a long time before I became that kind of person. Though I'm not perfect. I could speak about discipline in every video, and it will never be enough. The discipline I speak about is the type of setting daily tasks that become non-negotiable, something that you do whenever you like it or not, like daily workout. I do not allow myself to negotiate about whether I exercise or not. I do that. It is not a matter of any discussion. Along with my vampiric practice, this discipline of performing practice, as well as things like physical workout every day, allows me to have myself under good control, both body as well as the mind. And I have found out that for occult practice, for my mystical path, this is a necessity if you want to get somewhere real. And I do want that. Figuratively speaking, you cannot get far against the flow of the river if you never keep it up for long. And my intent to become a vampire is that, going against the flow of nature, a rebellion of left-hand path. Okay, something else for a moment. Am I a vampire yet? No, I don't think so. I came to hold an opinion that when human is still alive, but seeking this transformation, they are not a vampire, but a dhampir, or in other terms, not yet a strigoi, but a moroi. Because we are not exactly humans anymore, but we are not vampires yet. It doesn't work like in the movies and legends, jumping through death from one to another, But I'm certain now that the path is very possible for the one willing to walk it. The slow pace of this path can be very annoying in the world where people want everything immediately, especially when myth of vampire is promising exactly that. I understand. It actually caught me by surprise too. But better to accept the truth and adapt than whine and give up. The time we have in our human life is limited, and to know what you want, you need to find out alone. I cannot advise you. I am sharing my own way, singing the song of my own heart. To sum it up again, because I guess that you forgot by now, the path I got so far was consisting of first initiation, then sitting it out until I developed way better discipline, magic as well. Also simply becoming more adult person. Reinitiation, practice of vampiric ritual, later changed into improved one that seems to have opened the abyss to me. What goes next? I don't know, but I'm actually eager to find out. It will come when I'm ready and when the time is right. I believe that for today I've said enough. Thank you for your time. Go in peace and guard your heart well.